is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Big Trump speech tonight. It's essentially the State of the Union address. It looks like they've allotted 2 hours for the speech.
More than that,
sure
right?
Did.
It starts at 9:10 Eastern. Our coverage, I think, starts at, does it start at 7:30 Central?
7:30 Eastern.
Oh, Eastern.
7:30 Eastern.
Wow.
You're sure about that? Because
Yes.
we've been saying 7:30 Central.
You can put up the full screen, please.
All right.
For that.
So...
There it is. There's been some controversy behind the scenes about time zones.
Eastern.
And
That means 6:30 here.
6:30.
So they're going to be setting this thing up for 2.5 hours?
I guess there's a lot of talking.
Okay.
crap.
All right.
Okay, just you know what? If you leave your computer, your stream up on the Blaze, you don't have to worry about what time it starts.
Yeah, just leave it on and then come back.
And it's supposed to be
Oh,
2 hours and 10 minutes?
Yeah, 9:10 is starting time, 9:10 Eastern, so that's 8:10 here. So it's only an hour and a half that will be leading up to it. But it's not scheduled to end until 11:20 Eastern? Is he really going to talk for 2 hours?
Holy crap.
Wow.
Some of us have to get to bed, bro.
With the standing and the clapping and the boos.
I wonder if they allotted that without factoring those in. Then it'd be here till midnight.
Wow.
Gonna be fun.
Yeah. It runs up against the BYU game, too, which makes it
really?
difficult. Yeah. Something's got to give. They got a huge game in Ames, Iowa tonight for 4th place in the Big 12 tournament. Top 4 get a double bye to the quarterfinals. Yeah, I know you've been wondering about that. So
Thank you. Appreciate it.
yeah. So you only have to win 3 games to win the tournament if you get the double bye. But anyway, that's a long speech. If that's accurate,
Got a lot of-
9:10 to 11:20. We're talking 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Got
there.
a lot of winning to cover.
Yeah, I know. That's true. And maybe he needs all that time.
And we're getting our numbers from the White House. We're not just
That's right. I saw that.
speculating here.
Okay. So he will address a joint session of Congress. Many of the senators and Congress people on the Democrat side have already said they're not going to attend. Bernie Sanders is one of those. Oh, no. Oh, don't say that, Bernie. What are we going to do if you're not there? What will should he even bother now? I don't know. I mean, wow, that is going to be sad to see a vacant chair where Bernie Sanders should be seated. J.D. Vance talked about what snapped with Volodymyr Zelensky and President Trump the other day. He gave his perspective on how it all started. He said, I do think that there was just a certain sense of, there was a lack of respect. There was a certain sense of entitlement. You think? Yeah. During the meeting in the Oval Office, the former Ohio senator explained the importance of engaging in diplomacy to end the war. He described Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea in 2014, previous failed peace agreements, and a ceasefire that was violated by the Kremlin. What kind of diplomacy, JD, are you speaking about? What do you mean? Zelensky asked. That's kind of what started it all. I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy, Vance said, it's going to end the destruction of your country. I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict. And then all hell broke loose. So apparently Vance said that he attempted to defuse the situation, claiming he tried to have the conversation in private. And the president was like, nope, actually, I don't want to have it in private anymore. I want to have this actual conversation in public for the American people to see. Wow. So I think what he's trying to get across there is how difficult Zelensky is being in this process. And he is. And he has been from the beginning.
Yeah, and they barely got him to show up to the Oval Office thing. It sounds like behind the scenes, like he had no intention of coming here to sign those papers for the minerals deal.
Jeez.
This was all about security guarantees and getting more from the United States.
It's always about that. More money, more weaponry, more charitable contributions. I mean, wow, where does this end. And of course, to him, it doesn't. It just continues indefinitely. Wow. Also, with Sean Hannity last night. After the fiasco last week, Attorney General Pam Bondi appeared on Sean Hannity's program, where she gave an update on the latest regarding the Epstein files release.
Gave them the deadline, Friday at 8. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. Cash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. And, we're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein, because there are a lot of victims.
Well, you had identified in phase one over 254. Okay. Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public that you get in your possession? Yeah, the FBI hasn't had, obviously, they haven't looked at the thousands of pages of documents that they've just received Friday. Yeah. But Cash has a team going through them, and it's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know.
Yeah.
The Biden administration sat on these documents. No one did anything with them. And why were they sitting in the Southern District of New York? I want a full report on that. Sadly, these people don't believe in transparency, but I think more, unfortunately, I think a lot of them don't believe in honesty. And it's a new day, it's a new administration, and everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
And that goes the same with the JFK files,
JFK,
RFK files,
Martin
MLK.
Luther King. Yep, absolutely.
Well, I hope so, because
Me too.
It's beginning to feel more and more like this with each passing day. Corporate needs you to find the difference in these two photographs. Sidney Powell, Pam Bondi. So let's be careful here. Let's get a reveal going here real soon. Like the
Wait a minute. What are we supposed to figure out? Which is which?
Yeah, I don't know how you can do that.
I don't get
Oh,
that.
that's impossible. That's an impossible task. I mean, they're both
Right, the same.
so
let's go. I hope we
Similar.
get that.
so similar.
We got the FBI New York office. He's done.
Oh, yeah, he left.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if
good.
He had a choice.
Good.
But
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that email on election night or the day after. What was it? Not buckle up, but hunker down, something like that, or I forget.
I think it was both. I think he said buckle up and hunker down.
Okay.
I think those were his exact words.
Well,
buckle
anyway.
up, hunker down.
That's where these files were.
Yeah.
So hope that they're going through them.
So they got to go through thousands of pages again. So here we are back in the waiting period, I guess.
So will the binder get considerably thicker the next
Sure
go
hope.
around? Okay, because the last one didn't need all that space.
Yeah.
No.
And less Sharpie.
Less Sharpie.
Yeah. Like no Sharpie.
No
if you want to
Sharpie.
take the victims' names out, fine. That's great. Do that. But that doesn't take hardly any time at all. Just go through, eliminate the victims. You're done. Give it to us. Let's see it finally, once and for all. My gosh, it has been. When was he put in jail? It was so long. Was it 10 years ago now? How long has it been? Where
2019, that's when he was arrested.
It's only been since 2019. Oh, okay. Well, it's just been like a moment then. A moment in time. Wow, it seems like it's been longer than that. Because they've kept us in suspense for so long about this. So that's when all the coincidences happened that allowed him to commit suicide in that facility, which hadn't had a suicide since 1980. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on this until just in the last week or two. I saw something that said, did y'all know he made a phone call the night before? Let's see here.
To whom?
I don't know.
Is that what his brother, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, is saying, that he doesn't believe he died by suicide?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the reasons, I think.
So here's a Business Insider story. This is the headline. This is from 2023. Jail officials let Jeffrey Epstein make an unmonitored phone call on the night he died by suicide. He claimed it was to his mother, but she had been dead for years.
Then it probably wasn't to her.
I mean,
Is that what you're saying?
I don't know the phone plans in heaven.
Yeah.
But so that's a Business Insider story.
I've never heard that before. Never heard it.
Right.
Huh.
Something else
Okay.
going on.
Yep. I mean, there's so many things. Good gosh. There's so many things. Epstein, FBI, Martin Luther King.
Now we got a New York Post video, like a mini doc on Thomas Matthew Crooks.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And the investigator.
That's another thing we'll talk about today.
Okay.
Apparently, there's other people involved.
Help us.
According to a private investigator who's done a lot of research into this. And, we haven't heard a peep out of that investigation probably in 6 months or more.
I know at the time, Russia said Ukraine was connected to the other assassination attempt, and we haven't heard anything about that. I'm sure. Now, see, I'm a Russian mouthpiece, obviously, by even referencing that.
Obviously.
But I kind of I want to look into, what's his Ralph? What's his Dylan? I want to look into him, too.
If you love Putin so much, Keith, why don't you marry him?
I mean, he does have
what are you
good
working
physique.
with?
Yeah, have you seen his abs?
I've seen him on a horse.
Seen him on a horse with no shirt.
Yeah, come on.
You and Tulsi Gabbard are getting the same talking points, aren't you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. All you Russian agents.
Okay. So Thomas
secretly
Matthew
doing
Crooks,
Putin's
though.
bidding.
I can't wait to talk
What
about
him?
that later. You got some news or something.
I guess, and I guess his parents are holed up in their house,
Yes.
and they don't leave except to go get groceries at 3 a.m. because they don't want to answer any questions from anybody. Interesting.
And then he has a sister, and you can't approach
you can't
her
approach
apartment
her.
complex.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's wild.
Wow.
I don't blame her either.
So, I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then you still have the Zelensky problem. Yesterday, he said the end of his country's war with Russia is very, very far away.
Wait, what's the quote again? It's what?
It's very, very far away.
Okay, I don't know what he's going for there.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I guess he's wary of it.
This guy
happening.
had
I
no
don't know.
intention for peace.
It is
when he came to D.C.
Well, I know. Yeah, obviously, because peace is very, very far away. So here's how President Trump responded. This is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky. And again, why are we doing the two Y's again at the end of his name? I know that's...
I do it because on his Twitter profile, Mr. Zelensky, he uses two Y's on his name.
Okay.
That's why I chose it. I don't know why. Yeah.
One of them seems to be wasted to me.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just me.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And America will not put up with it for much longer. It is what I was saying. This guy doesn't want there to be peace as long as he has America's backing, and Europe, in the meeting they had with Zelensky, stated flatly that they cannot do the job without the U.S. Probably not a great statement to have made in terms of a show of strength against Russia. What are they thinking? Yeah, so there you go.
Okay.
They did say they're going to work on a peace proposal, though, and then bring it to the U.S. for approval. So I thought that was interesting that they are deferring to us in this situation.
Well,
it's not like they're going to be Superman and fix this by themselves.
No,
I don't think so.
Well, they unfroze. They thawed out the frozen funds, Russian funds in Europe to help pay for that. That's what they're getting from Europe is frozen Russian assets. I'm sure that's going over well in Moscow.
Oh, I bet it is.
But Trump has ordered a pause on military aid to Ukraine. So that's happening now.
Wow.
I was hoping that had been paused on January 20th, but...
Yeah, I kind of thought it was. And we were told that all that stuff was on pause, right?
Yeah. What's this, Chris? Clip 29? Okay. Oh, okay. I like it. Let's see.
What do you need to see from President Zelensky to restart these negotiations?
Well, I just think he should be more appreciative because this country has stuck with them through thick and thin. We've given them much more than Europe, and Europe should have given more than us because, as you know, that's right there. That's the border. This country really was like the fence on the border. It was very important to Europe, and I'm not knocking Europe. I'm saying that they were a lot smarter than Joe Biden because Joe Biden didn't have a clue. He just gave money hand over fist. And they should have been able to equalize with us. In other words, if we gave $1, they should have given. Well, we gave $350 billion. They probably gave $100, but on top of it all, they get their money back because they're doing it in the form of a loan, and it's a secured loan. So when I saw that, which I've known about for a little while, I said it's time for us to be smart.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's great for them because they get us in the country taking the rare earth, which is going to fuel this big engine, and especially the engine that we've in a very short time created. And we get something, and we're there. We have a presence there. With all of that being said, I want one thing to happen. I want all of those young people to stop being killed. They're being killed by the thousands every single week. Last week, 2,700 were killed. 2,700 young, in this case, just about all young boys from Ukraine and from Russia. And that's not young people from the United States, but it's on a human basis. I want to see it stop. The money is one thing, but the death. And they're losing thousands of soldiers a week. And that's not including the people that get killed every time a town goes down or a missile goes into a town. And I want to see it stop.
Right. I mean, you can't argue with that. I mean, Democrats, I don't know how you counter that. So, I mean, what do you say to that? Do you know the tally is close to 1 million casualties if you combine the two? If you combine Russia and Ukraine, it's right around 1 million. That's insane. It's insane what's been happening. So you would think there would be some will to put an end to this. All right, we've got much more on this coming up here. But first of all, let me tell you about Jace. Jace Medical would like to thank all the first responders as we've been dealing with snowstorms and fires and other intense weather events. It's really easy to forget how many people put their lives on the line to save their fellow Americans. But first responders can't be everywhere all at once. And when it comes to emergencies, the thing you need to remember is that you're your own first responder. And one of the most important tools you can have in your kit is the Jace case. Can't recommend these highly enough. If you're the type of person who wants to be prepared when disaster strikes, you're absolutely going to want this for your home. I just used this last week.
I know.
Was really sick.
I love that story.
I don't know what my doctor was thinking. She gave me like baby antibiotics.
Yes, baby
for
antibiotics.
like 3-year-olds or something. Amoxicillin 1.0 or whatever. I don't know what it was.
Wow.
Didn't help. So then I got the Z-Pack out of the Jace case, and bam!
Wow.
Was able to sleep for the first time because
awesome.
I could breathe, which was really nice.
That's important,
I had a really bad sinus infection. Breathing is somewhat important.
I've
in
heard
this life.
that. Yeah. I'm not a doctor,
it's
so
weird.
don't.
I'm not either. So
not medical advice.
I mean,
talk to Jace.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Talk to Jace. They're doctors.
Right. But go to jace.com and you just fill out a simple form. It's really easy. They make sure you're not allergic to any of these medications, and then they send it to you. And so you can either purchase one, but they're doing a giveaway too. You could win your own Jace case. Enter the promo code PAT when you check out. Get a nice discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at jace.com.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
So the fallout from the Oval Office meeting continues. Yesterday, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz on U.S. involvement with Ukraine. Here's what he said.
Success looks like President Zelensky sitting down and talking the terms of peace, talking about what he needs to see, Ukraine needs to see to get to a partial ceasefire, a permanent ceasefire, and an end to this war. And what became so evident to us in that session was he's not ready to talk peace at all. But here's the problem. Time is not on his side. Time is not on the side of just forever continuing this conflict. The American people's patience is not unlimited. Their wallets are not unlimited. And our stockpiles and munitions are not unlimited that we need for all kinds of contingencies around the world. So the time to talk is now. And what we're hearing in terms of alternatives, whether it's the Democrats or leaders around the world, is essentially continuing this grinding World War I style trench warfare that is a meat grinder of people, munitions, and national treasure. The president campaigned on ending this war. He was elected to end this war. He will be the peacemaker in chief. But it was really confounding to us that Zelensky could have left the White House Friday, having the U.S. and Ukraine bound together economically for a generation. You have the British talking about troops on the ground and a security guarantee. The French talking about troops on the ground and security guarantee.
Crazy.
We even had the NATO Secretary General talk to the president just before the Zelensky meeting. So this was no ambush. This was an opportunity and a moment. And I think President Zelensky truly did his country a real disservice by not having a positive outcome Friday. And, we'll see where things are going forward.
Okay. It's amazing how the tables have turned. Everything's flipped upside down. The war hawks used to be on the Republican side. I mean, I was all about going into Iraq back in the day because I really felt like Saddam Hussein was a problem. I believed they did have weapons of mass destruction. I was in favor of doing that. And of course, Afghanistan, where the Taliban was and where Al-Qaeda trained and all of those things. But you know what? After 20 solid years of nonstop, eternal war, kind of wore me down. And I'm really not there anymore. And I really don't want anything to do with anybody else's wars. And that includes this one. But the Democrats, who were all peace doves before, who were all bragging about how none of them wanted to go into Iraq, now they all want continued military presence all over the world. It's really strange. Why? What is going on?
Because now they've learned how to make money
They
off
sure
of
have.
war.
Yeah. Raytheon, Boeing. I mean, look at their donors, and then you don't have to wonder as much. But it's amazing how this has turned around completely. And they're the ones who want us continually involved in this stuff. But here was Democrat Senator Chris Murphy.
So it is absolutely shameful what is happening right now. The White House has become an arm of the Kremlin. Every single day you hear from the National Security Advisor, from the President of the United States, from his entire national security team, Kremlin talking points. For the last week, the White House has been pretending as if Ukraine started this war. That's essentially saying that Poland invaded Germany at the beginning of World War II. There are still facts in this world. And the fact is this. Vladimir Putin is a brutal dictator. Russia started this war. And the entire pretext for that meeting yesterday was an attempt to rewrite history in order to sign a deal with Putin that hands Putin Ukraine. That is disastrous for U.S. national security. That means that China will be on the march. Putin may not stop. America may be at war with a nuclear power. And for
that's what you're pushing?
No for kidding. What?
That's what you're pushing.
As if America is trying to align itself with dictators. That Donald Trump wants us to have our closest relationships with despots all around the world. Because that this guy's a liar. Easier for him to transition America into a kleptocratic oligarchy where Elon Musk and Donald Trump rule and steal from the American people.
Oh my gosh.
Democrats always accuse.
You know, the United States' closest partner is Russia.
How are they?
Then it makes it a lot easier for Donald.
Stop. How are they stealing from the American people when they're the ones trying to stop the theft? They're doing the opposite. That's why we're hearing about all the fraud and expenditures that don't make any sense all over the world. And yet you're accusing them of being the thieves? Jeez.
It's something else. And the left is pushing the domino theory that got us into Vietnam because we can't have every country in Southeast Asia falling to communist, which is what they're using now in Europe.
For years now, yeah. I'm sorry, that doesn't work on me. You can't go on what might happen, what could happen, what potentially could happen. Yeah, I don't want to go on that anymore, all right? $350 billion because of your hysteria over what Russia might do next. They're not going. I don't think they're going to. If they go into Poland, that is a NATO country. They don't want anything to do with that. They're not going into Poland. Ah, man. Wow. These people are insane. Well, you saw him there at the podium earlier and was part of an announcement about an investment deal with Taiwan.
Is big.
Okay.
This is awesome. Yeah.
A big percentage of chips with this investment will be made now, a big percentage. Worldwide, we had very little, almost none. We used to have a lot with Intel, but we had very little. And we'll be at close to 40% of the market with this transaction and a couple of others that we're doing. That's a tremendous leap, like a leap that nobody would have really said was possible. So I just want to thank you all for being here.
Yeah, this is going to be stuff that
That's
goes
on the rare earth minerals, right? Is that what he's talking about?
This is chips that go into your
chips.
phones and your computers and stuff like that. So instead of us getting them from Taiwan, when they could be, they're in a vulnerable part of the world.
We get them right here from
Arizona.
Get them in Arizona.
This is huge.
That's great.
This is a lot of activity going to be happening in Arizona around this.
Wow. And there was more from the president.
First, I want to thank thank you to Mr. President to give me this opportunity to announce our big project in the U.S.
Bob Smith, I think.
TSMC is the world's largest chip manufacturing funded by Dr.
Is that Taiwan's
in
foreign minister, prime minister?
It's now at the forefront of semiconductor technology.
Company guy.
Supporting AI advancement and industry growth. In fact, I would like to wind back the time that in 2020, we have to thank President Trump's vision and his support. So TSMC start the journey of establishing the advanced chip manufacturing.
Yeah, they're bringing like got it. They're bringing like $100 billion investment into the U.S.
Yep,
which is great. Do we have the part from the president?
Nah, it's fine. I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Jeffrey Sachs chimed in as well on this stuff. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
The products that TSMC makes are literally the most important products in the world. I mean, these advanced chips power everything. They power AI, they power your phone, they power your cars. And without them, the whole modern economy would stop, but they're not made in the United States. So for TSMC to move here is a huge, huge development. And we owe that to President Trump's leadership on the economy and Secretary Lutnick as well. And Cece, thank you for coming here. Thank you.
Also, the speaking of all this economic news, the 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico kick into effect today. Today.
Don't like it.
Another 10% added to China, so I think that brings the total to 20% on Chinese products coming into the country. The price of things is it's gonna go up. So, I mean, if this lasts any amount of time, if they don't cave and remove the tariffs from us, prices are going to go up.
Well, Canada, let's see, China just imposed 15% on our agriculture products. Canada is doing stuff. I forgot.
10%,
10%?
I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man. I don't like it, personally.
I don't either.
It's the USMCA being completely ignored that he signed in 2020 that goes through July 1st of 2026. I'm fine with the tariffs in theory, but reneging on a deal that you actually signed, because I
problematic, yeah.
Yeah, there's no fentanyl, there's no drug mention in the USMCA, so I feel like we're just kind of changing the terms on the fly, and don't like it. It's not good. But, we'll see what happens, right?
And people aren't going to like it when their products go up at Walmart. So we'll see what happens. But
he's got a plan, right?
The Dow Jones fell 650 points yesterday.
But he's got a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a plan. But, the weird thing is he is really all about tariffs for some reason. He loves them.
I'm telling you, man.
It seems to be the most important issue to him.
He fell in love with the late 1800s.
Yeah, he did.
Last summer.
Yeah, he did. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Unleashed.
Look at this. Weather people have actually admitted this has been a cold winter. Kind of forced into it, I think. So they do admit winter was cold, but hang on for it. Hang on. Meteorological winter, which runs from December to February, ended last weekend. Not only did it give way to meteorological spring on March 1st in the Northern Hemisphere, it ended the coldest 3-month period in the United States since the winter of 2013 to 2014. It was about 1.1 degrees below average as a whole in the contiguous U.S., which was home to some of the most unusually cold air on the planet. A part of western Kentucky was almost 7 degrees colder than average.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's my kind of winter.
Despite the frigid temperature, 67% of the country experienced below average snowfall. The meteorological definition for the seasons based on historical weather stats differs from the astronomical definition, which is March 21st, right?
Yes.
That's spring. March 20th, I guess. Astronomical spring begins March 20th. But the next 3-month season will begin on a stormy, dangerous note. Severe thunderstorms, tornadoes possible. But parts of every state except Alaska and Hawaii experience below average temperatures. The most unusually cold conditions occurred in South Dakota and in a corridor that includes Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, and Virginia. And if I may, they don't say this, but Texas has been pretty stinking cold as well.
Sure has, yeah.
We had 3 unusual cold snaps here.
So that's interesting because our government weather forecasters, as we've said, predicted a warm and dry winter for the United States.
Exactly.
Overall.
Yep.
And, of course, Bill Nye is really broken up over all these NOAA firings from DOGE.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. The United States, get this, United States was part of the 8% of the planet that experienced below average winter temperatures. Meanwhile, 44% experienced above average temperatures, which means, 52, so you got 48% that was about the same as always. But here's what they write, of course. Such a ratio is consistent with a warming climate.
Okay.
Of course it is. Because everything is consistent with a warming climate. Warming, cooling, flooding, drought. Everything that happens means global warming to these people. Oh, it's so frustrating. Just can't believe every single time they do this. Even when they can't deny, all right, yeah, it's been a cold winter. It's been cold. And we said that was probably going to be done by now.
So, Pat, do you remember we had the story out of Britain that talked about how the warm air is making it a rough winter?
Yes.
It makes it cold now.
Yeah, because it pushes the polar vortex down to us.
Well, that's what Al Roker said. The UK story was talking about the warmer water now, so when the cold comes, there's more intense storms, like whatever. And then, of course, Al Roker, with the vortex sinking. Now the Associated Press is on board with this. It's getting colder because it's getting hotter. This is going to become a thing. This is going to become their normal thing. What used to be a bit on Pat Gray Unleashed is now their argument.
It's now their scientific argument.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
And now we've got this story out of CTV out of Canada, the palm trees there. We got let's hear about what did the weather and climate used to be like in the North American continent.
Well, a new study has revealed that palm trees once flourished in what is now subarctic Canada, offering new insights into ancient Arctic climates. We've talked about this before.
Yes, but we got another study. We got multiple studies now that say it has been warm enough in places like this
to be tropical, to have palm trees The research led by Peter Siver, a professor at Connecticut College and published in the Annals of Botany, confirms that the region maintained warm temperatures year-round about 48 million years ago. Slightly before, just before SUVs were invented. Even during months of winter darkness, scientists discovered the fossils by analyzing tiny silica structures from plants called phytoliths, found in ancient lake bed residues in Canada's Northwest Territories. It's so great.
Oh, yeah, it goes on.
Wow. These fossils were extracted from a fossil site in the territory called Giraffe Kimberlite Pipe Locality. These fossils, along with the remains of warm water species, suggest that the Arctic was once ice-free and had a climate similar to today's subtropics. Which would include places like Houston, Texas.
And you say this is back when we had factories bellowing and belching out pollution?
Just before that time?
Oh, before.
Yeah. The presence of warm adapted aquatic organisms further supports the idea that this prehistoric Arctic region was home to a lush, temperate ecosystem. Researchers said the study challenges previous assumptions about when and where ice first formed in the northern hemisphere.
What? Challenging? I thought the science was settled.
Right. Yeah. I thought there was total consensus on all of this. So what was it Bill Nye had to say?
Well, he's sad that NOAA got rid of forecasters that suck at their job.
No.
Because, nothing says consistency and skill like being a government employee, A, and a weather forecaster, B. You combine those forces, and that's, but he's sad about it. Audio?
To happen. What concerns do you have on that front, given the valuable service that NOAA provides?
Oh, no.
Well, the other thing, the climate is changing. You can say to yourself it's not, and you can take campaign financing from the fossil fuel industry, and you can pretend the climate's not changing and hurricanes aren't becoming more frequent and flooding
pause it.
isn't more...
As we've just talked about, the climate has changed forever on this planet. It changes, regardless of what we're doing as humans. Yeah, but you're speeding it up. Are we? It's gone up 0.9 degrees Celsius in 100 years. Jeez.
I know. It doesn't matter what the facts are. They're going to plow ahead like they cannot hear you.
And every single time you look into the real statistics from people who are reliable, you find that hurricanes are not stronger and more intense. They don't happen more frequently. Same with tornadoes. Same with all of these events. They're happening at the same rate they've always happened. All right, let's see if we can get through this.
Frequent and flooding isn't more. There's forest fires, wildfires.
Like we never had forest fires before.
That didn't used to be a thing, everybody.
No, nope, they never had fire in the Carolinas. What a moron.
That they didn't used to do. You can pretend that's not happening, but it is. And this is where NOAA
You can pretend it's never happened before, but it has.
Prepare and deal with that. And it certainly informs where to apply whatever limited resources you have to disaster relief.
This is so great.
So it's just everybody. The reason you have public service is to serve the public. And by dismantling this public service, you are not serving the public. And I understand.
What do you
where
understand?
This came from. This engineer who looked for the weakness, found the weakness, exploited the weakness as fast as he unrealistically could, and now we have a system that's broken in many ways that has to be rebuilt. So yeah, this is in nobody's best interest.
And it's playing out still, and we'll see how far and deep these cuts, really do hit in this agency and others. Bill Nye, good to see you. Thank you.
Another thing is those employees are losing their health insurance, and somebody's going to pay for that too.
Oh gosh!
It's just
thought Obamacare. I thought we took care of that.
Not efficient.
The trickle effects are vast. It's good to see you. Thank you.
So you know what we should do is just keep wasting money like we always have. We just keep paying employees who aren't doing their jobs. Let's just keep doing that. Let's just keep giving money to, transgender plays in other countries. Let's make sure that they can have circumcisions in Mozambique. Let's just keep doing it all. Can we do that? Let's just ignore the fact that we're $37 trillion in debt, and we just need to keep going merrily down that road until we're completely bankrupt and the economy totally collapses. And let's just keep listening to morons like Bill Nye, who denies that they've ever had fire in the Carolinas before. Fire is not a thing in South Carolina? What? Is the state made of asbestos?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know that.
I didn't.
Well, no wonder.
The Marine Corps bases have all spray asbestos.
All right.
Yeah. As a former resident of that state,
Jeez.
the beaches are pretty, but they're itchy as hell, man.
They're itchy?
Yeah, you get all that insulation and the asbestos.
Yeah.
Coat the beaches, I mean.
But that's the price you pay for no fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Keith, if it still itches, I know a guy that can help you with that itching.
Oh.
So.
Is this Jeffy joining us today?
I'm just saying, I know a guy.
You know a guy.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Good. All right. Anytime in life you have to make really big changes, it can be hard. And that's especially true when you're planning to buy or sell a house or doing both because you're relocating. It's complicated, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. There's a lot of stress involved because are you going to get what you want for your house? What kind of changes do you need to make to get it ready to sell? Should you just sell it as is? That's where the realtor comes in. And then when you're looking for a house, they help you find the great neighborhood that you want to be in, the great house. You get the most house for your money, the school district that you want your kids to grow up in. It's so important. Real Estate Agents I Trust. These are agents that have been carefully vetted by Glenn's team. This is his company that he put together so you wouldn't have to go through the things he went through with a bad realtor. The name really says it all. It's Real Estate Agents I Trust. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Now, more of Pat Gray Unleashed.
So DOGE found some waste in Texas. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. To your point about cutting waste and people like Bill Nye freaking out over, being efficient with our money. This is grotesque.
Cut 20.
DOGE said the Department of Health and Human Services had terminated a contract paying Family Endeavors $18 million a month to operate an empty facility in West Texas. The organization is also known as Endeavors, and you may have seen its administrative headquarters and wellness center on De Zavala Road, where it has a cluster of buildings and storefronts. DOGE focused on an overflow housing facility for migrant families Endeavors operates in Pecos, Texas, which DOGE says has been sitting empty, while Endeavors has been receiving the $18 million per month. Homeland Security reposted DOGE's X post, tagging U.S. Attorney Ed Martin with the words, "Please investigate," to which Martin responded, "Duly noted, we are on it." I went to Endeavor's San Antonio headquarters today to get a comment from the organization. They responded late this afternoon by email. Endeavors was responsible for maintaining operational readiness at the Pecos shelter, ensuring the ability to scale from cold status, operationally ready but not actively serving children, to full use of 3,000 beds as needed. Decisions regarding facility use and migrant sheltering locations were made by the federal government. Not Endeavors.
Now listen to this.
Any claims of corruption or mismanagement are baseless.
Yeah, hang on.
DOGE also claims Endeavors received its HHS contract in 2021 after a former ICE employee and Biden transition team member joined the nonprofit. Endeavor's government disclosure forms show its revenues shot up in 2021 from $50 million to $658 million, reaching a peak of $1.1 billion in 2022. For the News 4 I-Team Waste Watch, I'm Jay Avila.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
We're doing this wrong, bro.
18 million a month.
We're doing this so wrong.
And then that 1 year, 1.8 billion.
1.8 billion?
I just...
Unreal.
Thank you, Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
Is so bad. This is worse than we realized, I think.
Oh, by a lot.
By a lot.
Yeah, by a lot. I mean, we all knew there was waste and fraud and corruption, but it's so deep and so extensive that you can't imagine it.
So $18 million a month, or else they're not going to be ready to respond to the needs of the community when they arrive.
Yeah, right. We're in our cold period right now, just preparing for the warm period.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So there's nothing going on, but they need to be ready for when something is going on, and that doesn't come cheap.
There are people in
That's
that
about $18 million a month.
Yeah, there are people in that building getting a lot of money out of your paycheck to sit in that building and play solitaire all day.
Seriously, where is that money gone? They need to track that down. Who's gotten that $18 million a month? Because it's not going to cold readiness.
George Soros.
Jeez.
You okay?
No.
Wow. All right. So Tim Burchett.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about
this
the
is
Pentagon.
Yeah, this is a good little back-to-back here.
Okay.
From Wall Street Apes. Yeah, this is an old clip of Tim Burchett bumped up against Joe Rogan and Elon Musk the other day.
Cut 11.
You have a Pentagon that has billions of dollars that they hide. We don't ask for any accounting of. They never pass an audit in the history of audits. I've often said the only way we're really going to get to the bottom of this is somebody's going to walk out of one of these labs with this information and puts it out on the internet before they commit suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head 5 times.
There you go. That's how we're going to get our Pentagon audit.
Good. Yeah.
It's going to come with a price, but you'll find out.
Wow. All right. We'll get into the. Is this Elon on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, he was on Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Get into that coming up. Did you also see, though, that, there's so many sad things that are happening. We just found out that the Hezbollah chief, Hassan Nasrallah, before he was killed by the United States of America, he was depressed and emotionally changed by Israel's exploding pager attack on his operatives. It saddened him. And his son said he was noticeably no longer the same man. And his daughter revealed that he cried after the beeper attack.
Sounds like the beeper was in his front pocket.
He cried.
Not the same man.
Not the same guy, no. So, I don't know if his unit was blown off.
Oh.
But I think he was just sad for his fellow terrorists.
So he's not allowed to be sad, Keith, because he's a terrorist?
That'd make me sad.
Yeah, he's apparently went into a depression before we found him and killed him. So, gee, you hate to hear that, don't you? More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Miracle Made sheets. Because traditional bed sheets, do you know that they can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? I know. You don't like to think about that. But that is nasty. That's why these are so great. That, and they're super, super comfortable. They're luxurious like 5-star hotel sheets. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, comforters, that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth and require up to 3 times less laundry, so a lot less work, too. They use silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA. That's how it's done. Miracle Made sheets are thermo-regulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth. So they're cleaner longer, and you don't have to do the kind of laundry that you have been doing. And no more gross odors or that feeling of ick when you get into your bed. Upgrade your sleep this year. Go to trymiracle.com/Pat to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use the promo code PAT at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set, and you'll save another 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Pat. Use the promo code PAT, and you'll claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40%. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Pat and treat yourself.
Pat Gray Unleashed now continues.
Michael Moore is worried about deportations, and he should be. He should be. He makes a really good point here.
It's too heavy to deport.
Well, he's not worried about being deported himself.
Okay.
He's worried that that President Trump is deporting people, illegals, who have the potential to make huge scientific breakthroughs like curing cancer or stopping an asteroid on a path to decimate the Earth.
So they can't do that from their own country?
Well, I mean, you want them here so that they can do this.
I see.
Because there's a really good chance that, because there's a ton of Rhodes Scholars and Mensa members that sneak across our southern border, there's a really good chance that we're just sending them right back home where they'll do this important work there, I guess.
Okay.
No, I guess they can't do it in Mexico or Guatemala.
I feel
it can only be done here in the United States.
Yeah,
that's weird, isn't it?
It's
kind of weird.
Strange scenario.
But yeah, you know how all of our scientists sneak across other people's borders? We don't want that to happen with the people, with the Mensa members that are coming here, and we're just sending them away. It's really
we'll
tragic.
Regret that.
We will regret that. I mean, what a dumb point.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't with how stupid these people are.
Yep.
Got some tweets here. Aaron Grenade tweets, we created Doritos. Pretty sure we already dominate the chip market. See what he did there?
I do.
It's a different kind of
like
chip.
it too.
Have you seen our cholesterol lately?
Oh, that's a twofer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Too many chips. Saving history. These Canadian scientists are proving the Bible. The entire planet was nice and warm until the flood.
Oh, was it really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice and warm?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, hold on. Is snow from from Satan?
It's a good question.
I'm just following the logic here.
Okay. James 37144. Yeah, Canadian grandpas. 48 million years ago, when I was a kid, there were palm trees all around here.
I like it.
Back in the day.
And we liked it. Thank you, Dana Carville.
Jonathan Evans, tonight's speech is so long because the president is planning to read the Epstein client list. Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Please.
I wish that were true.
Oh, yeah, me too. Housekeeping here. James Dennehy, he's the head of the FBI office in New York that was forcibly resigned yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
After President Trump's victory, it wasn't buckle up that he sent an email. It wasn't hunker down that he sent an email.
It was neither of those?
No.
Oh,
Fake
wow.
news by me. Sorry. It was, quote, dig in.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you really blew it.
And James, this guy is allegedly accountable for concealing the Epstein files. So.
Okay.
That's.
So, do you think we're going to get him now? Okay, we got him out of the way.
Okay.
Pam Bondi says, all right, now we know what's going on, and we're going to gather him up. And
yeah, because it was all on paper. There's nothing digital.
Right. But we're going to blot out all the victims' names. That's going to take, 6, 7, 8 years.
Wait,
and
what?
then, bam, the release will happen, and you'll get to see them all. So,
all right.
Yeah. I don't know how long that's going to take. We'll see.
I would love
I've become a little skeptical now.
Oh.
Again.
With reason.
Yeah.
But if Trump just started spilling out names tonight.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be great. Elon and his DOGE team continue to look for waste to cut out of our government. Here's what he said on the Joe Rogan show. Check this out.
To accept corrupt money.
Yeah, but the problem is if you paid them a lot more, they're still not going to make as much money as they would insider trading.
But it's less of a forcing function.
Yes. It's
well, let me put it this way. Like if you say like somebody's got a, let's say they got like whatever, some kids in D.C. and like it's expensive. It's like expensive place to live.
Talking about representatives.
The schools are terrible, so like they need to send their kids to like some kind of private schooling situation. They literally cannot afford that. They cannot afford that right now. So then you get into the situation. Well, from their standpoint, well, they've got to. They'll say they're doing it for their family. They're doing it for their kids.
Well, especially if it's legal, and it currently is. You kind of be silly to not do that. If you were a part of a group of people that's passing a bill, and you know this bill's going to get passed, you know the votes are there, and you know it's going to affect this industry and this particular manufacturer, and you can buy stock.
It's more than just insider trading. Like the insider trading stuff, like the stock portfolio stuff is quite trackable, but there's, it's a lot more than insider trading.
The way they're acquiring wealth.
Correct.
And what other methods?
I mean, this is really going to get me assassinated.
Oh, jeez.
It's like I'm not lengthening my lifespan by explaining this stuff, to say the least. I mean, I was supposed to go back to D.C. How am I going to survive? This is going to kill me for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
In fact, I do think like there's, it's like, I actually have to be careful that I don't push too hard on the corruption stuff because it's going to get me killed.
I believe him.
Wow.
That's terrifying. It's also terrifying that there are ways that our elected officials, reading between the lines, that are making money that we can't even fathom.
Yeah.
That's...
wow. It's chilling. It's kind of chilling.
It sure is. Okay, I thought of this yesterday. What if you paid elected representatives the average salary of a U.S. worker, $66,000, and you eliminated insider trading? What kind of people do you think we would attract to run for office? $66,000 and no insider trading. Better people?
I'm not doing it for that. Are you?
I'm just saying. No. You might get the farmer taking a couple years off like Jefferson wanted, and we'd have some real normal people up there.
Yeah,
patriots.
Maybe. I mean, there are countries that go the other way. I think Singapore is one of them, where they pay them like $1 million because then you're looking for people who are. I don't know.
Above reproach.
Yeah.
That's like the NFL does with the referees.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're not subject to the K Street douchebags who are whining and dining you and offering you bribes when you're already making the kind of money that you need to make. So I don't know. There's two ways you could go on that. You could pay them a normal salary that the average American makes, or you could pay them an exorbitant salary, and then maybe that eliminates some of the corruption. I don't know.
They're a public servant. Let's not forget.
Yeah, I know.
In theory.
I know. But here are the polls on DOGE right now. 7 in 10 voters think government expenditures are filled with waste and agree with cutting $1 trillion in expenses. 70%.
Okay. That's hopeful.
Do you support or oppose the goal of cutting $1 trillion of government expenditures? 69%. How could you... Why is it only 69%?
I know.
How could you not want that? Most voters agree with having a government agency dedicated to efficiency and that the DOGE agency is helping to make major cuts. Do you think there should be a government agency focused on the efficiency initiatives or not? 72% say yes, there should. Do you think the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, is helping make major cuts in government expenditures or not? 60-40 say yes. So the American people are in favor of this. And it's not just Republicans. You can't get to 60 and 70% with just Republicans.
Right.
So, and probably not just Republicans or independents. You got some Democrats there that are agreeing with this as well. Yesterday, we mentioned how illegal immigration has plummeted since Donald Trump took office. take a look at this. This really illustrates what's been happening so far.
Breaking. Border Patrol releasing brand new December border numbers. There were over 300,000 migrant encounters in December. That is the highest month ever recorded.
Some new border apprehension numbers, which are the lowest ever monthly total in American history. The president putting out on Truth Social, there was 8,326 Border Patrol apprehensions. Just for context, John, sometimes there was more than 8,000 illegal aliens apprehended in a single day under the Biden administration.
Yep. Okay, so it's gone from 302,000 to 8,300. Wow. Okay, that's astounding.
But I thought you needed to pass a bill in order to stop the illegal crossing.
Yeah, no, it's already illegal. So, yeah.
Okay.
You know, you just need to enforce U.S. law, which is what he's doing. So, yeah. Works out pretty well. Amazing, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? A reporter leaked information about an upcoming ICE raid in Virginia, warning illegals on how to avoid ICE and what to do and not to do to avoid being deported. Really, a dangerous situation for law enforcement. People who do this should go to jail.
Yeah.
So, of course, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is part of the problem.
You had a recent dispute, if that's the right word, with Tom Homan, the president's Homeland Security czar, so-called. You held an online forum, a Know Your Rights forum, that he didn't like. What were you doing? What was your goal as you saw it?
What were you doing?
My job is to educate and act as a liaison of critical information to my constituents. And I was informing all of my constituents of their constitutional protections. And in particular,
you're illegal.
Their constitutional protections against illegal search and seizure in the United States.
Wow.
Homan was upset, I suppose, because he felt that you were giving advice to people who were here illegally.
Yes.
Were you?
Were you?
I was giving advice to all of my constituents.
No, you weren't. No, all of your constituents didn't need that advice.
That he did reach out to the Department of Justice.
A lie.
Have you heard from the Department of Justice?
Wow.
I have not, and I intend on reaching out to the Department of Justice to inquire.
Really?
Good. I hope you are being investigated.
For the Department of Justice?
Well, there is a member of the Trump administration who is threatening and seeks to open an inquiry. And
Good.
Are you going to do it?
Yes. The answer is yes, Putin.
What would you learn? What do you hope to learn from that exchange?
Wow.
I think it's important to know where this administration stands and if they intend on using political intimidation to silence their critics.
If they intend to uphold U.S. law, you mean? And if they intend to stop you from endangering their federal agents? Wow.
That's
Oh
reprehensible.
It is. It's despicable. Wow. She should be impeached immediately. Incredible.
She should mix in a salad, too. Ooh, something's going on there.
Really? I didn't notice that. She pregnant, though? That's the big rumor.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
That's a long pregnancy because we've been talking about her pregnancy for months.
True. Or years, perhaps.
She's just going through some changes, something. I don't know.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right.
Good luck on whatever's going on.
Did you know that Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the United States with thousands of different plants? Over 2 million happy customers. They have all the plants your yard needs. Fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, and so much more. Whatever plants you're interested in, Fast Growing Trees has you covered. Find the perfect fit for your climate and for your space. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to get your dream yard. You can order online and get your plants delivered directly to your door in just a few days without ever leaving home. Their Alive and Thrive guarantee ensures your plants arrive happy and healthy. Plus, you can get support from trained plant experts on call to help you plan your landscape, choose the right plants, and learn how to care for them. It is so great. So this spring, they have the best deals for your yard. up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners to our show get 15% off their first purchase when you use the promo code PAT at checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com. Use the promo code PAT at checkout. fastgrowingtrees.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, this is interesting. You know, the cartels in Mexico are now taking some steps to avoid the intense heat that's now found them ever since President Donald Trump entered the White House for the second time.
I love it.
The New York Times revealed, amid Trump's threats of tariffs and using the U.S. military to directly confront them, along with the Mexican government's renewed pressure campaign, cartel leaders have taken steps to protect themselves and their businesses. One cartel leader says he's trying to figure out how to protect his family in case the American military strikes inside Mexico. They are legitimately scared. This is great.
Good.
Another says he's already gone into hiding, rarely leaving his home. Two young men who produce fentanyl for the cartel say they've shut down all their drug labs. You can't be calm. You can't even sleep, they said.
Yes.
Other steps they're taking include selling properties, firing extra personnel, hiring drone detection experts, and purchasing larger caches of firearms from the United States. Okay, that's probably not good, but it's fascinating that they are legitimately afraid and concerned now. The cartels understand that they'll be unable to win in a direct fight with the U.S. military. They don't have that concern about the Mexican military. A couple of decades ago, when they sent like 9,000 troops north to fight the drug cartels, about 6,000 out of the 9,000 joined the cartels. They were bought off.
Oh, no.
But they understand they can't win against the U.S. military. However, now that they are labeled terrorist organizations, they'll certainly not make things easy. If a helicopter comes here and soldiers drop out, 20 or 30 of them, there's no way we just sit there with our arms crossed. Well, you probably should, because you're going down. Trump has used the threat of a 25% tariff on all goods from Mexico to get the Mexican government to actually combat the groups that have caused so much death and destruction in the U.S. The Sinaloa cartel, one of the oldest and biggest in Mexico, has been hit especially hard by the crackdown and an ongoing civil war between two rival factions within the organization. You can't be calm, you can't even sleep, because you don't know when they'll catch you. The most important thing now is to survive. Wow. So some of the fentanyl manufacturers have shut down their operations already? That's pretty awesome. That's kind of amazing. It's why the U.S. military is one of the most trusted institutions in America. They just did a survey last June about who you have confidence in and how much confidence do you have in each of these groups. And at the top of the list is small business at 68%. Have a great deal or quite a lot of confidence. 68% of people said they have that. Very little or none, only 7%. The military was number 2 at 61%, 61 to 12. Followed by the police, the third most trusted institution, 51% to 17%. The medical system, just barely, 36 to 30. Organized labor, 28% have quite a lot of confidence, and 27% have very little or none. 28, 27. They're 1% above water. Banks, 27, 26. Also 1% above water. Higher education, 18 to 18. And I guess the rest have no opinion on it. The church or organized religion, 32% have quite a lot of trust. 32% don't. So they're even. Public schools, 29% have a lot of confidence. 34% do not. They're 5% underwater. Large technology companies, 27 to 32%. Ooh, the U.S. Supreme Court, 30 to 38%. Yeah, because nobody can really trust them. Liberals can't trust them. Conservatives can't trust them. I mean, you don't know what they're going to do. The presidency, 26% have a lot of trust. 50% do not. Wow, 24% negative on that. The criminal justice system, 21 to 45%. That's also 24%. Big business, 16 to 42. 26% underwater. Newspapers, 18 to 48. Television news, second to last at 12% have a lot of confidence. 56% do not. And what do you think is dead last? The very bottom institution for trust of Americans.
Weathermen.
No, but they should definitely be in this. They're probably part of TV news.
Okay.
Congress.
Yep.
Congress. 9%.
What?
Quite a lot. 60% do not. They're 51% underwater.
Wow.
But it's always somebody else's congressman because the vast majority continue to get reelected.
Getting reelected. And that's why they know they're safe.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
There's every poll shows that Congress is not popular.
Dead last.
But boy, on election day, that's my guy.
Do you remember a few years ago they included like cockroaches in this?
Yeah.
Which do you like better, Congress or cockroaches? And cockroaches won. I mean, that's how disliked Congress is. So yeah, vote them out of office then. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
And welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. The screenwriter for the movie Reagan said that DEI disqualified his movie for best movie at the Oscars.
I saw that, yes.
Yeah. I might say that the lack of quality disqualified his movie for best picture consideration. Maybe it's just me. I thought that movie was not great. I mean, the acting was bad. The script was shallow. Is it just me on that? Did you see it? Anybody else? Nobody else has seen Reagan, the movie?
Are we 50 years out from its release?
We're not.
Then
We're not. That's a silly question with you.
No, I didn't see it because it hasn't come out in streaming yet, has it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
I don't think so.
I didn't pay close attention to it.
But he says it's diversity, equity, and inclusion guidelines disqualified him from it. Starred, of course, Dennis Quaid. But he accused the awards organization of discriminating against his movie based on race. We didn't seriously expect to be nominated for anything by Hollywood in this cultural climate. It's just sadness. I think the situation speaks for itself. There's not really anger and indignation among those of us who made the film. We just didn't seriously expect to be nominated for anything, and they weren't. And Nora won Best Picture. Anybody seen that? I have not seen that.
I went and saw it, and Pat, it's a real big boy movie.
Really?
It's a porn, basically.
What?
So
yes.
Really?
Was Conan O'Brien exaggerating
wow.
when he said the F word was used like 397 times?
Exactly.
370?
Yep.
That's right?
It's severe sex and nudity. Severe profanity.
Okay.
Severe alcohol, drugs, and smoking.
Okay.
Alcohol, drugs, and smoking. I love it when they put smoking in there.
Smoking, yes.
Well, I mean, is nicotine really a drug?
Okay, so it's really a hard R.
It's
a big boy
film. I got the full breakdown.
Okay.
693 swear words.
Okay, wow.
479 F-bombs.
479?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
The other words I can't say. I don't even know how to pronounce. I don't know how to
All right.
shorten them. But overall, 693 swear words.
Jeez.
Where 479 are just the F word.
Wow.
And
Plus there's sex and nudity.
Oh, and the sex and nudity, Pat. It literally, scene 1 is...
I'm guessing there are some scenes where you cover a lot of bases
inside of a
with
strip
one
club.
fell swoop.
Yeah, you're inside of a strip club.
Okay.
You're following several sex workers.
And this is the movie that won the best picture?
Yes.
No wonder nobody watches that stuff anymore. No wonder nobody knows the Academy Awards. We don't watch it.
What were the ratings? Do we know?
I haven't seen yet.
What do you mean?
Have not seen. The ratings for the show.
Oh, probably Jeffrey will have it tomorrow. I know he loves to do all that.
Yeah, he does.
I found that number, so do I want to ruin Jeffrey's?
Do it.
Yeah,
ruin it.
ruin it. Yeah.
Apparently 18 million viewers and 8% drop.
Okay. Remember when 40, 50, 60 million used to watch those? Not anymore. Huh.
But that movie got 5 awards. Holy cow.
Yeah, including Best Picture.
Best Picture, yeah.
Wow.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Check this out. Thank you, Statista.com. This is the last 25 years of the Oscar or the Academy Award ceremony audience size.
So since the year 2000. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Well, that's a drop.
When did it crater like that? What year is that? I can't see it from here.
2021. Was that the COVID one?
That's COVID.
Yeah, probably COVID. Yeah.
But
So
still-
it went up a little bit since COVID, but
this crater right here...
because nobody had seen any of the movies during the COVID year.
This crater almost cuts the audience in half. That's when they're just mocking Trump.
Oh, wow.
Is that 2016?
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
And they don't care because their agenda is more important to them, I guess. So, good luck with that. Wow. That's interesting. Huh. All right. There were actually a couple movies I've seen. Wicked. I know that was nominated. And the other one I saw that was nominated was Dune 2. And those were both pretty good.
How does that compare with Dune 1, which is still the remake? But
yeah, Dune 1, they were both good.
Yeah, they were
both good.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking Dune 1 from 1984, that was
That's garbage.
That's garbage.
I had to watch that for school.
Did you really?
Yeah, for film school.
Yeah?
It was, oh, God.
have you
Awful.
directed any films? Because we'd like to see them.
No.
No, we don't
Didn't
get to
you go
see
to
them,
school for
or-
that, though?
I did go, yes.
Then what happened?
That's not the track I went. As you can see,
Hold on.
that's not the track that I went.
I need clarification. No, we can't see them, or no, you didn't direct any films or produce any films?
Both. No.
Okay.
Boy, that's a
All right.
powerful degree you got there.
Yeah. That worked out really well.
Again.
How much did you waste on that?
Just $34,000.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
But I didn't pay for it, so we're good.
That's great.
Oh, we did, right?
Yeah, you guys did.
Nice.
Oh, okay. On your GI Bill?
My GI Bill.
Ah,
That's good.
I like it.
All right. So I guess Tim Walz is thinking about running for president in
How about that?
2028.
How about that? I think he might look to kick his campaign off at Churchill Downs. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But what was some of the things that he was saying that, if there's a need or something, or he'll certainly consider running.
If there's a need for Tim Walz?
Something like that. He says that...
I don't think even the Democrats will think there's a need for
but
him
I want
to
him
jump
to run.
in.
Oh, please run.
Oh, he's so bad.
Please run. Put
So
that horse
bad.
in the race. I think he said, I never had an ambition to be president or vice president. He was honored to be asked. And so I guess he's basically saying, hey, guys, I don't want to be, but I mean, if you need me, I'm here. He says, I think I could offer
Good to
something.
know.
Yeah, that's what it
Thanks,
was. I think I
Tim.
could offer something. Yeah. To whom?
What? You could offer butt stupidity?
Yeah.
You could offer that. I'm not sure that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's a quote, Keith. I think I could offer something. I will certainly consider it.
Gosh. Okay.
Oh, wow. What a treat that is for Democrats. Oof. They are excited now. They can't wait for 2028.
Yeah.
He said, I'll do whatever it takes.
Jeez.
Okay.
Meanwhile, ESPN's Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Still triggering speculation that he might run for president in 2028.
Talking politics a lot, man.
Said the Democrat Party has lost touch with Americans, you think?
Right.
And here is that man of the people, Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, this is ironic, right? He's saying that the Democrat Party has lost touch. Now watch what causes him to walk off the set here.
Okay.
How are you? Hawaii was amazing.
Yeah?
I would go back in an absolute heartbeat. Favorite place I've ever been.
Stop.
The answer
How'd
is
you
no.
get there? How'd you get there?
We
you
flew
got that
commercial.
vacation haircut.
In commercial.
commercial. Hold on.
30 rows 37.
You flew your wife, Coach.
My wife.
From the East Coast.
My kids. My
From
mother-in-law.
the East Coast to Hawaii.
Yes.
Which is about 10 hours.
12 hours.
And Coach?
And on the way home, nonstop, red eye through the night.
It's about saving money. I like it.
You're just like me.
I'm Spirit Airlines. Extra row C13A.
37. I was in row 37.
He walked off the set. He's disgusted that he.
And honestly,
yeah, he was supposed to do first class for all those people, I guess, right?
Uh-huh.
Is Orlovsky making that kind of money?
Yeah, I don't know, but put this up. What else does he say at the end here? Was there something else?
Wow.
I think Stephen A. Smith says something. He comes back. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That was the end of the clip.
And honestly,
Let's see.
during the middle of the flight, I'm going, I don't regret not buying first class.
How could you not? It's about the trip.
Look at
the
man of the
money
people, Stephen A. Smith.
Cheap-ass people. Move on with the subject, Molly.
Wow. That'll let's just say it because stranger things have happened. Somehow he gets nominated. These Democrats, great hope for 2028. Just play that for people to see.
Yeah.
Man of the people.
Hey, I like that guy that was in the middle. I'm a Spirit guy too. Now I moved on to Frontier, but I'm all about that.
So
you're a Spirit guy?
Or
yes.
Spirit Airlines?
Oh, yes, sir. 32
Oh my
bucks
gosh.
to Florida.
No.
Okay,
Let's
but
go.
if you want luggage, it ends up costing more than if you take something like Southwest Airlines,
yes. You have to,
where you get 2 bags free.
Yes, you have to travel smart.
Not a sponsor.
You have to travel smart.
Okay, so I'm just reading this article that estimates that Dan Orlovsky, the white guy there,
the quarterback, former quarterback in the NFL,
between $500 and $1 million at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith's salary.
He's deep into 7 figures.
Let's
I would
just
guess.
find out. The man of the people. $20 million per year.
Oh, for Stephen A. Smith.
How come you're in first class? Because we don't make $20 million a year, bro. Like you.
That's what Orlovsky should have said. Dude, I don't make $20 million a year. Ugh. I can't afford first class for 5 people.
And there's
do you know what that would cost?
From New York to Hawaii.
From New York to Hawaii,
nonstop.
Come on, that would be a ton. That'd be a fortune. What, $15,000, $20,000?
Democrats have lost touch.
Jeez. Yeah. Democrats have lost touch. Not him. Wow. He's not going to run for president. He can't. He can't take the pay cut.
No way.
No way. Man.
Yeah, that would hurt.
All right. Here's some not breaking news. James Carville is a disgusting human being. And here's his latest rant about President Trump. This should be fun.
Is madness. And I don't mean madness like I'm mad at you, you mad at me.
Thank you for clarifying.
I'm talking about madness like King George III kind of madness. And it could be a combination of being a fat slob, which of course he is. It could be that he's can't sleep at night because his beached whale body can't.
Oh my gosh!
This guy
allow the circulation it needs. I don't know. I'm not a sleep specialist or a medical doctor.
Thank you.
But I think we should revisit the possibility of a syphilis diagnosis.
Oh God!
Oh man!
This guy.
Oh my gosh!
So, can you put this picture up on the screen? He chooses the most odd places in his house to do these little interviews, and there's always clutter or something behind him. Now we're in the kitchen. Sometimes he's got the bathroom door open.
Yeah, it's weird. Plus he's psychotic. He's just he's a raving lunatic.
Yeah.
He needs some help. And seriously, how do he and his wife get along? How is that possible?
I know.
How is it possible?
I think another question here for you is, why is the airport code, I had to look this up, on his hat there, MSY. Why is that Louis Armstrong International Airport in New Orleans? How did it get MSY? I need to know this. How did it get that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm curious. Aren't you curious?
Not really.
Really? That kind of stuff, you're not into that?
No. But I'm sure you're going to tell us.
Oh!
All right.
It used to be called the Moisant Stockyards. The airport was originally named Moisant Field after daredevil aviator John Moisant, who died in 1910 in an airplane crash on agricultural land. Who writes this? Where the airport is now located. So they left it in honor of him, MSY.
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, a little fun fact for you.
Fun fact. You said at parties this weekend.
I mean, that's the only... If we get nothing out of a James Carville clip, it's that.
You got that. You got the MSY thing.
He is a disgusting human.
Oh, my gosh.
Ugh.
A lunatic. By the way, have you been following the developments from this private investigator on the Butler assassination attempt on President Trump? It's been almost 9 months since the 20-year-old attempted to assassinate President Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And we still have no good reason why. We still don't know what the deal was with this guy. Apparently, his parents are almost in hiding. They don't ever leave their house, except according to neighbors at 3 a.m. to go get groceries. That's about it, because they don't want to talk to anybody about this. And so he left no manifesto. Nobody knows what his deal was, but this guy who's been investigating says that he was not alone. And have you heard anything about that? I haven't heard a thing about it. Apparently he had handlers, he had others that were involved in this. So why don't we know anything about this? And that's what Elon yelled at the audience at CPAC last week. And then he said FBI Director Kash Patel is going to get to the bottom of it. I hope that's true. I mean, we shouldn't let that go. Because if there is a conspiracy of some sort, if there are other people involved and they're still out there and they still want to get that job done, we need to find them and bring them to justice.
Yeah. The private investigator said there were pings from cell phones from, what did he say, 7 to 9 different people at these locations.
7 to 9.
Like his house.
Different people.
Other stuff.
Wow.
And is there a longer version of this documentary? Does anybody know? Because I've only seen 8 minutes of it. But yet, when the lady who narrates it, she said, including something pinging at the high school that's still pinging today or something like that. But it was never paid off in the little mini doc. And I'm like, what was that pinging thing at the high school?
Wow.
I'm sure it's out there. I'll find it. But I was waiting to see that this morning. It's strange, and it reeks of something larger.
It sure does.
Whether it's a foreign conspiracy or a more domestic one.
Right.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, we need to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
This veteran private investigator was hired shortly after July 13th when the assassination attempt took place. And he told the Washington Post, that he believes a criminal network was operating with the shooter at the time of the assassination attempt, is still in existence and still wants to kill President Trump. So this Doug Hegman, whose team of 6 other investigators have been working the case for months and have interviewed more than 100 people. I mean, that's more than the FBI has done. I'm pretty sure. I think that they shot the guy and that was it. Okay, we got him. We're done. Move along. Nothing to see here. So he said they also conducted extensive geofencing analysis of the cell phones and the tablets not belonging to the shooter that were found with him at his home, at the rifle range where he took target practice, at the rally, and at Bethel Park High School, like Keith mentioned, where he graduated in 2022. We don't think he acted alone. This took a lot of coordination. In my view, the investigator said, He was handled by more than one individual and was used for this assassination attempt. And I would preclude the possibility that there were people at the rally itself helping him.
I wouldn't preclude, So he thinks it might,
Right. So he thinks somebody else was there at the rally helping.
Correct.
To coordinate it all.
Yeah.
Hagman said one of the electronic devices geolocated with the shooter at several different places at the time of the shooting is still pinging today. How weird is that? At Bethel Park High School.
Time for a search warrant?
Yeah. Hello?
It's a public building. Do you need one? I'm just coming in there.
Jeez.
I'll wait till the kids leave for the day. Wow.
So he fired 8 shots. One of them hit the president. One of them killed Corey Compertour and seriously wounded 2 others. The autopsy report indicates the shooter was pronounced dead from the gunshot wound to the head by a counter sniper. Hagman said he was personally escorted to the Butler County line and told to leave twice during the course of his team's investigation. The people who did so were either federal agents or some type of private security.
I'm sorry, what is this, Dukes of Hazzard? Take him to the county line! We're not going to have this investigation going on in my town.
You come back here and you find yourself behind bars.
That's weird.
Wow. He added, one can assist in an operation like this by omission or standing down. There are people still out there involved in this case that need to be brought to justice. And is anybody else looking into this? Or just this private investigator? Is the FBI looking into it? Hopefully Kash Patel will now. I would certainly hope that Kash Patel does.
Yeah. If we're ever going to find out, it's going to be under Kash's watch. That's for sure.
Man. All right. We all should buckle up because this is massive. President Trump is about to deliver a historic address to Congress tonight. And, the mainstream media is already itching to twist all of his words. But here at Blaze Media, we're cutting through all that noise, bringing you the unfiltered truth, live and unapologetically. We're not just streaming the speech. We're hosting a no-holds-barred roundtable with top Blaze TV hosts, real-time reactions, sharp analysis, and the raw truth the corporate hacks won't dare touch. We've notched some wins, but the war for America's soul is far from over. This speech sets the stage. Will President Trump's vision ignite the future, or will the D.C. swamp dig in deeper? We're breaking it down live. No script, no agenda, just facts and firepower. And get this, we're simulcasting across all Blaze channels, so wherever you are, you're plugged into voices that you can trust. Stick around till the very end. We got some exclusive sneak peeks at Glenn's NASA whistleblower bombshell. It's pretty wild. So it's tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so that's 6:30 Central, right? And the Blaze TV crew will be live. This is one you won't want to miss. Blaze TV tonight. Yeah.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Yeah, the other thing about the shooter is that it seems like he was cremated quite quickly. Right?
Very quickly.
Yeah. So...
Wait, hold
let's
on.
just dispose of this body and let's just forget about it. Okay, there we go. We burned him up and it's all done. Don't worry about it. Don't bug the parents. They had nothing to do with it. Oh okay.
Or the sister.
Boy,
wow.
What's MK Ultra up to these days?
I don't know.
Bring that up. I don't see the connection there, Keith. What are you trying to say?
I don't know. But one of the interviews on that little mini doc from the New York Post was his, well, there's a lot of interesting interviews in that, but every one of them says, this is not the kid we knew. This is 100%.
That's what I keep hearing.
Not who we knew, and it makes no sense. And one of them was saying how, the amount of time, just that short period of time from high school to this, something major
happened. Well, yeah, it was only 2 years. He graduated 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, it was a year and a half even.
Yeah.
I think they were saying.
So he got radicalized or weirded out very, very quickly.
Right.
So what was going on there? I don't know. I really don't know.
I feel like that's one of those that we will never know the truth.
I hope that's not the case. I hope Kash Patel looks into this. If it weren't for Kash Patel and President Trump and the whole team, I would think, yeah, okay, we're never going to find out. But with them in office, we should be finding out.
Well, we know Trump said somewhere, I think it was between the election and inauguration, I remember seeing something where he was, I can't remember if it was a quote of his or just a report that he wants the assassination attempts really looked into. And I want to know more about the golf course guy, too, and his connections with Ukraine. He was big time into the Ukrainian military and helping to recruit people to go over and fight for Ukraine. And, it's...
Interesting.
That's the word.
Interesting.
I'll say it's
interesting.
Interesting how connected he was to the Ukrainian military, and he tried to kill Donald Trump. We've seen videos from the military in Ukraine. We know what they feel about Trump.
Very strange.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got overtime coming up, and we'll be back here tomorrow, and Jeffy will chew the fat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.